By sea, air, or land, the U.S. Navy SEALs are always ready to serve their country, anytime, anywhere.
I marked to identify.
We're not going to go out and pick a fight. We're going to go there, we're going to do our thing, and if we do it right, we're going to leave, and all the enemy is going to say is, what happened? Or, looks like somebody was here, but we didn't see anybody. And we're not going to go out and shoot up the world a la Sylvester Stallone.
The United States Navy SEALs are generally regarded as the most highly skilled and trained amphibious unit in the world.
Hold.
They are men who can push their bodies to the breaking point and beyond. Men who can function with a clear mind under the most severe and hostile conditions. The SEALs specialize in unconventional warfare, and their name reflects their ability to infiltrate enemy territory from the sea, through the air, or on the land.
SEALs are used for small unit missions. Missions where perhaps eyes on a situation is needed. You've got to go into a situation, be able to see it, and then call back through a radio, telling someone else what you're seeing.
As their acronym suggests, the SEALs are not only trained to operate in the water, but also must be qualified parachute jumpers and experts in land warfare. As a result, they are a combination frogman, paratrooper, and commando. They are an immediate reaction force that can operate anywhere at any time. In order to ensure that only the most physically and mentally fit men become SEALs, recruits go through what many consider the most demanding and grueling selection process in the world.
You have to understand that when you get through this training, you're going to be the first one that gets called upon to do something. If you're going into Grenada, if you're going into Panama, you're going into the Persian Gulf, somebody wants eyes and ears on the target. Whose eyes and ears do they want? I want the SEAL's eyes and ears. You've earned the right to be the first guy to go to that party. You've earned the right to be the first guy that your country calls on to send into harm's way.
The origins of the SEALs go back to the World War II underwater demolition teams. The UDTs, as they were called, were formed to assist in the difficult and dangerous task of clearing safe lanes through the German beach defenses for the hundreds of landing craft used in the invasion of Normandy. The men were plunged into combat with little training and under the most horrific conditions, but courageously accomplished their mission.
We had suffered 80% casualties on that, call it an event. It was a very significant event for us. And following that, of course, they were in Okinawa as well. But they made their history, shall it be said, in blood in World War II. The idea of Iron Men, wooden ships, this was exactly what it was. The naked warrior was very much in evidence during World War II.
The UDT units went on to serve in the Pacific theater of World War II, and later prepared the way for amphibious landings in the Korean War. In 1960, with American forces in Vietnam, a U.S. Navy study suggested the need for even more specialized units to conduct deep penetration and sabotage. In 1962, President John F. Kennedy commissioned the first SEAL teams. President Kennedy felt Vietnam was a special type of war that required special types of personnel.
This is another type of warfare, new in its intensity, ancient in its origin, war by guerrillas, subversives, insurgents, assassins. war by ambush instead of by combat, by infiltration instead of aggression, seeking victory by eroding and exhausting the enemy instead of engaging him. And these are the kinds of challenges that will be before us in the next decade. If freedom is to be saved, a whole new kind of strategy, a wholly different kind of force, and therefore a new and wholly different kind of military training.
Our actions at this danger area will be as follows. We will come to this point. We'll be patrolling down here in our file. We will stop short of the bridge.
The SEALs performed brilliantly during the Vietnam War, particularly in the Mekong Delta, where they used the numerous rivers to gain access to their targets. Sometimes operating with South Vietnamese special forces, their missions included gathering intelligence, ambushes, and capturing Viet Cong officers.
They worked with different types of indigenous forces, what were called Chu Hois or Hoi Chans, that were defectors from the Viet Cong that we would gather into our program and use them as scouts to lead us into certain areas.
The SEALs emerged from Vietnam as the most decorated organization serving there, and were so successful in their missions that they were nicknamed Devils with Green Faces by the Viet Cong. More recently, the SEALs conducted secret missions in Operation Desert Shield and Desert Storm. SEAL teams were deployed in the Gulf only days after the Iraqis invaded Kuwait. Using FAVs, or fast attack vehicles, the SEALs operated deep behind enemy lines, gathering intelligence on Iraqi defenses and rescuing shot-down coalition pilots. They were also given the responsibility of training Saudi Arabian frogmen.
When the war, in fact, the air war kicked off, we started performing maritime reconnaissance up the coast of Kuwait to gather intelligence as to what the order of battle was for the Iraqis.
Perhaps the greatest feat performed by the SEALs in the Gulf was Operation Deception, where a team of 6 commandos fooled the Iraqis into believing they were an amphibious invasion force of several thousand Marines.
I sent in myself and 5 other people to swim into the beach. We were carrying haversacks, or 20 pounds of C4 plastic explosives. And what we were going to do was swim into the beach and then spread out along the beach, approximately 50 yards. With 6 guys would cover, 200 yards of beach. We set our clocks for 2 hours on the haversacks. We were given the time by the Special Operations Command to have the charges go off at 0100. We didn't know it at the time, but at 0400, 3 hours after our charges went, that was when the ground war began. If you were an Iraqi on the beach, nothing had been going on, you hadn't been bombed for a while, and then all of a sudden, right offshore, you're getting fire, and 50 caliber machine guns, grenade launchers coming in. You can tell it's not a plane, you can tell it's not a ship offshore, because if you look, these boats are real close and they're just hammering your area. As I said earlier, the ground war began at 0400 right after that, and so we had returned in it was about 0600 where we received word from our commander that they had gotten intelligence that elements of 2 separate Iraqi divisions, after our deception, began moving from their border positions towards the shoreline. And when we heard that, that's what really made us feel good, because our mission worked, and hopefully it saved some lives of Marines and Army personnel that were beginning the ground assault.
Guests were all leaving. O'Leary was closing the bar. When he turned and he said to the lady in red, "Get out, you can't stay where you are."
Because of the acknowledged danger of naval special warfare, prospective SEALs go through some of the toughest training in the world. Only about 40% complete it. Volunteers are sent to Coronado, California for BUDS, or Basic Underwater Demolition SEAL Training. The recruits first complete a 7-week pre-training course and then start BUDS, which consists of 3 phases and lasts 25 weeks. Potential SEALs come from all walks of life and join for many different reasons.
I think for the action and the adventure, the thrill of being here, and participating with the best of the best. I want to serve my country, and I wanted to make the ultimate sacrifice. I mean, this is the ultimate training.
Ensign Alton Grizzard graduated from the U.S. Naval Academy, where he played quarterback for the Middies. With a number of career opportunities to choose from, Grizzard volunteered for the Navy's toughest challenge, to become a SEAL.
I decided to try to become a SEAL because I guess the teamwork and the things that you hear about how the SEALs are in the program and what they do for a living. And going through the academy, you sort of look up to them, and everybody wants to do that, but not everybody does, and there's a lot of other things you could do. But I think that the kind of people that are in this program, the type of people that I like to work with and work for.
The first phase of BUDS focuses on strenuous conditioning, physical exertion for extended periods of time, and difficult exercises such as drown-proofing test each student's ability to perform under pressure.
It's basically a physical conditioning, mental conditioning phase in which we assess them as they go along and heap tremendous amounts of physical and mental stress upon them. The reason for that is to make sure that the individual is adequately prepared to continue on with some of the more rigorous courses of instruction that we offer here at the center.
While recruits swim, run, and exercise, they learn the SEAL team's most important skill, teamwork. Trainees are taught to function as a group, and this ability to work as a team is repeatedly tested in BUDS training.
Well, teamwork is the key element in naval special warfare. There was an old Master Chief, Stoney was his name, and he wrote up on a chalkboard one day, SEAL team. As he pointed up to that, he said, "You don't see I in SEAL team." And that little phrase has stuck with me forever. It's an individual effort to make the team work.
You have to absolutely instill teamwork in an individual. We are not looking for Rambos here. We're not looking for a guy to go out and take on the world by himself. That kind of individual we want to get rid of, because that's the kind of individual that's going to go out there. He's not going to be able to follow someone, take orders from the leader. See, a two-headed dog is a mutant, and you can only have one leader. And an individual that's incapable of taking his orders from his superior or his officer in charge is going to be the individual that gets the group killed. And we don't want that person.
Down 5, down 6, down 7, down 8, down 9, down 20. Senior Chief Harwood! Hoorah! Senior Chief Harwood!
You guys got to start acting as a team. You guys want to be a team?
Hoorah!
Or you want to be individuals?
During the first phase, recruits go through weekly room inspections, which test each man's ability to act as part of a team, with particular emphasis on detail.
Who cut your hair, man? I did, Chief Cooper.
You cut your own hair for inspection.
I took a razor to it, Chief Cooper.
You think it's straight? Or do you have any idea? About face.
One mistake introduces the students to harsh realities of life as a SEAL.
A 3-day weekend to prepare for this inspection, and you people look twice as pathetic as you did last week.
The constant harassment from the instructors is done for a specific reason. It may save the recruit's life someday.
They don't call it war because you're putting out a picnic basket and you don't know what's going to happen. You have to be able to change, you have to be flexible, you have to be able to deal with adversity. And it's not harassment to check and to see what that individual's reaction is going to be.
First phase reaches a peak during Hell Week. For For 6 days, trainees perform drills in 5 to 7-man boat crews, operating with little or no sleep. Through this process, each recruit learns to endure more than he ever dreamed possible. Hell Week is often called the ultimate test of tenacity and resolve.
You can pretty much figure that a man that goes through Hell Week, which is one of the more rigorous weeks of first phase, you can pretty much be assured that a man that makes it through that isn't going to be an individual that is going to try to take the liberty of calling a timeout whenever we're in a wartime situation or a potentially hostile situation.
It's very tough. It's something I didn't think that the human body could do, but you do it.
Airborne Froggy gonna take a little trip. Mission top secret destination unknown. Mission top secret destination unknown.
Those who survive Hell Week move on to the second phase, where academic ability is tested as students begin studying the physics of diving.
That was your lungs, those balloons, breathing compressed air. You start coming up, you hold your breath, you panic, you think you're out of air, and you hold your breath, you will die.
Recruits then proceed from the classroom to the water, where they learn basic diving techniques using open and closed circuit scuba gear. Students in the diving phase must complete a 6-mile swim, a 14-mile timed run, and finish the grueling obstacle course in under 10 minutes. There is a saying at Buds that the only easy day was yesterday.
The motto, the only easy day was yesterday, is a motto that was up in the courtyard when I got here, and it's really true. Even the only easy evolution was the last one you just got off of. You live one evolution, one day to the next.
That is really true for the students that go through this, the trainees that go through this course, because yesterday was easy because it's over. You still got today and tomorrow to go through.
The third and last phase of training takes place on San Clemente Island and concentrates on land warfare and underwater demolition techniques. Most of this training is classified and has rarely been documented. Upon completion of the third phase, the Buds graduate is assigned to an actual SEAL team. When a student graduates from the basic underwater SEAL training course, he has experienced demands on his mind and body that he would never have believed possible.
The one common denominator that I think that you're going to find amongst the SEALs is their ability to do anything they darn well please. When I say that, I mean any mission you might assign them, anything they wish to do in life. Whatever the challenge is, I think that the thing that's going to get them through it is going to be that self-discipline, that willpower.
Late at night when you're sleeping, UDTs come a-creeping all around. Come a-creeping all around. Hey!
The SEAL's ancestor, the frogman of World War II, was entirely water-oriented. The modern SEAL is capable of striking from a seaward direction into virtually any area or type of terrain on Earth. The following rarely seen footage is an example of how the SEAL teams operate. In this mission, normally performed at night, the team has been given the task of destroying a mock power plant. The team demonstrates the deadly efficiency of how SEALs operate. Today's SEAL teams are better prepared and more technologically oriented than ever before. They use state-of-the-art equipment like the closed-circuit underwater apparatus. This underwater breathing system recycles the air a diver breathes out so that it leaves no bubbles. Using this breathing system in 1989, SEALs were able to disable enemy vessels during the invasion of Panama. SEALs also use SDVs, or swimmer delivery vehicles. These small six-man submarines are propelled by an electric motor and are made of non-ferrous materials that are virtually undetectable to radar or sonar. The war in the Gulf showed how valuable the SEAL teams are to U.S. military strategy. In today's ever-changing political climate, the role of the SEALs will be even more important in the future.
Most likely we are not going to be fighting the major conflicts. With a whole lot of luck, we won't be involved in a nuclear conflict. If we are fortunate enough to be able to limit conflicts to the utilization of small units, special operations forces, I think that the world will be a much better place. Hopefully we can do that, and if that happens, if something comes up, it's going to be us that gets the call.
The ability to fly undetected by radar. It's a dream that has invaded military minds for decades. Now, with stealth technology, it has become a reality. Firepower is next. Then at 10 Eastern, the weapons of World War II.